this one more time. We'll get rid of that. And we're going to change this a little bit by putting a new folder in there. Because as you look at it, as you start adding more and more pages to this is going to get kind of cluttered and you might want to organize it a little bit. So you might want to start using folders. So I'm going to put in a folder called Pages. And strangely enough, I'm going to put the pages inside of that folder. All right, so what's going to happen now that I've done that? Right, my links are going to be broken, particularly the index is no longer, well, actually all of my links are going to be broken, not just the index. But we're going to get this file not found. Okay, that's the only one I have working right now. Because, why? What's changed? Right, I've changed the location. So since I've changed the location, here, and so you guys can just do this yourself, I've got to change my path name, right? So I've said href, here's where it is. Just go to week1.html. So what does this now have to say for it to work? Right, so this has got to change to pages/week1.html. So the folder that it's in, go to the folder, then go to week 1. That's what we've just said. So if we reload that, click on it, perfect. Okay, so if everybody would do that quickly, then we're going to fix the other link, which is a little bit different. So first do this one. Fix the link that goes from home to the page. Then you'll notice your back to home links aren't working. And it's going to take a slightly different technique to fix those. So let's do it one step at a time. So this is the way basically all websites get set up. The index page is essentially all by itself. It's not in another folder. You might have a folder called Pages. You might have a folder called Images. You know, if you have a website that goes month by month, you might have a folder called January. You can have any number of folders depending on how you want to organize your website. But the index page is always outside of those folders. Okay? So far, so good? And so then when you put things inside the folder, the path name is real simple. You add the name of the folder, / and then the name of the file, and everything works just fine. But here's where it gets a little bit different. When we're inside the, inside the Pages folder, so if we're on this page called Week 1, we're inside of this folder, right? We want to get back outside of the folder to where the index page is. So we have to somehow change this path name here to indicate you got to get out of the folder and then go to the index. And so let me just open up the file itself so we can work on it. All right, here's our existing path name. It just says index.html. But somehow we have to say, get out of the folder that you're in because we're inside this folder called Pages. And then once you're outside of that folder, then go to index. So I know there's one. So Ying, you've already maybe done this. Anybody that has never done this before that has any idea, what would you guess? How can we make it look outside of the folder that it's in? Okay. Okay, that's actually not a bad idea. So I can see why you would do that. So all of this stuff is in this folder called Week 5 Demo. So Paul is thinking, well, maybe we'll have it go to that folder. Well, that's actually a real good guess, but it doesn't. That gets us actually outside of. So here, if we can actually see it, that would get us out here. which isn't going to be what we want. We just want to be in this area here. So there's a real simple little HTML thing that means get outside of the, this is, you're telling the browser, look outside of the folder that you're in. Dot, dot, slash. So this dot, dot, slash means get out of the folder you're in. That's it really, in simple terms, what you're telling the browser. So you don't have to name any specific folder because it's just whatever one you're in, get out of it. So this path name is going to be just as good if we were inside a folder called Pages or inside one called January, inside one called Images. Doesn't make any difference. All we're doing is saying get out of the one you're in. So now if I just save that change, and if I reload this page, and now when I click on back to home, there I am back at my index. So when you're already, the file you're working on is already inside of a folder, and the one you want to go to is not in that folder, it's outside of it, you add that dot, dot, slash to get out of the folder. Okay, so try that. Yeah, Russ?
Your images folder is outside, like you had it set up there?
Yep.
Did you have to do that because of images?
Yes. Right. So if your images are outside and they're in an images folder, yeah, you would say dot, dot, slash. That gets you out of the pages folder. Then you put images slash flower.jpg, whatever it is. If you kind of have to look at the structure itself, I think, for it to make sense. If everything you're doing is within the same folder, then you just go with the file name itself. If you need to get out of this folder, say you want to get into images, first thing you have to do is get out of the folder that you're currently in. So there's the dot, dot, slash. Then you would go to images, because that's the folder you want to go to. And then inside the images folder, slash whatever the name of your image is. Obviously, you can have folders within folders within folders, in which case it becomes dot, dot, slash, dot, dot, slash. If you need to get out of multiple folders, you just put dot, dot, slash as many times as you need to get out of the folder that you're in. So, has everybody got that working? Try it. This is the one that it's actually not that tricky.